Imagine wanting to analyze your e-commerce sales for Black Friday, check customer orders from a specific period, or schedule time-sensitive promotions, all with a seamless, lightning-fast user experience that doesn't bloat your app with unnecessary dependencies. That's where a production-ready, handcrafted date range selector in React truly shines. In this tutorial, you'll discover how to build your own powerful date range picker from scratch, using only React and the ultra-lightweight date-fns library for robust date manipulation. You'll gain practical insights into designing accessible, intuitive components without relying on external UI libraries, keeping your bundle lean and your codebase fully under control. We'll break down each step, from structuring clean, reusable components to state management, range logic, and ensuring your selector is resilient, user-friendly, and easily testable. You'll also learn how to optimize for accessibility, performance, and maintainability, crucial for any production e-commerce platform. Mastering this skill means you'll confidently deliver bespoke filtering experiences that empower users and drive business results, whether it's for order tracking, analytics, inventory management, or campaign scheduling. If you're serious about building scalable, high-quality React apps and want to stay ahead with best-in-class tutorials and actionable techniques, make sure to subscribe now so you never miss out on the latest expert content. Imagine you're shopping online and want to see only the orders you placed last month. The key to making this possible is a component called a Date Range Selector, a tool that lets users pick a start date and an end date, filtering data accordingly. At its core, a Date Range Selector is the bridge between the user's intent and the vast amount of time-stamped data in an e-commerce system. Think of it like a pair of sliding glass doors. By adjusting each door, you control how much of the outside view you see. In this analogy, the outside view is your data, and the doors are the start and end dates. The selector must be precise and easy to adjust. If the doors are sticky or hard to align, you'll quickly get frustrated. Similarly, a date range selector must be intuitive, responsive, and unambiguous, providing immediate visual feedback as users interact. It empowers users to answer questions such as, "What did I buy during the holiday season?" or "How have my sales changed in the last 30 days?" In e-commerce, this ability isn't just convenient, it's essential for decision-making, record-keeping, and customer satisfaction. The success of the selector directly impacts how efficiently users can extract meaningful insights from their data. The backbone of a robust date range selector lies in its architectural design, especially when building from scratch in React without relying on external UI libraries. Visualize this like constructing a custom kitchen. Instead of buying pre-made cabinets, you design every drawer and shelf to fit your unique cooking habits. In the same way, a custom date range selector is composed of carefully tailored components, each responsible for a specific function. The main component orchestrates state, tracking which dates are selected, which month is currently displayed, and what the user is hovering over. Supporting components handle specific tasks. The calendar grid lays out the days. Individual date inputs allow precise entry. Navigation controls let users flip between months, and presets provide quick access to common ranges. Each part communicates through clear, one-way data flows, ensuring predictability and ease of debugging. Controlled components are like adjustable shelves. Their state is managed from above, allowing for consistent updates and integration with parent systems. This modular approach also supports accessibility and testability. By explicitly managing state and responsibilities, the architecture remains flexible, maintainable, and ready to adapt as business requirements evolve, whether that means adding fiscal quarter presets or theming for a brand refresh. Date manipulation is the secret engine that drives the date range selector, and using the right tool makes all the difference. In this project, date-fns plays the role of a specialized toolkit. Imagine a precise set of instruments for measuring, cutting, and assembling wood, as opposed to a bulky all-in-one gadget. Date-fns brings modularity, allowing you to import only the functions you need, keeping your application lightweight. Each function operates immutably, meaning that every transformation of a date returns a new date object, protecting your state from unexpected side effects. This is especially important when users interact rapidly or when multiple operations happen in sequence. Functions like parse, format, is before, is after, and is same day provide exactly the operations required to validate, compare, and present dates. For example, when checking if a selected end date is after the start date, is after offers a clear, reliable answer. For rendering the calendar, start of month and end of month help define boundaries, while each day of interval efficiently generates the days to display. This toolkit approach not only streamlines development, but also ensures that the selector behaves predictably, no matter how complex the filtering logic or how many users interact with it simultaneously. Accessibility is as crucial to a date range selector as ramps and elevators are to a building. They ensure that everyone, regardless of circumstance, can navigate and benefit from the space. In the context of a React date range selector, accessibility means constructing the UI so that all users, including those relying on screen readers or keyboard navigation, can select dates with confidence. This involves using semantic HTML elements, such as tables for calendars and labels for inputs, and enriching them with ARIA roles and attributes to communicate their purpose to assistive technologies. For example, assigning roles grid to the calendar grid and ARIA selected or ARIA disabled to each day allows screen readers to announce vital information. Keyboard support goes beyond simple tabbing. Users should be able to move through days using arrow keys and select dates with enter or space. Visual cues, such as highlighting selected and in-range days, must be paired with accessible descriptions for those who cannot see them. By attending to these details, the selector not only complies with standards, but also delivers a dignified, frustration-free experience for every user, building trust and inclusivity into the heart of the e-commerce platform. Performance is the unsung hero of user experience, especially in interactive components like a date range selector. Imagine a high-speed train. The journey should be smooth and swift, with each stop, or user action, handled efficiently. In React, this means minimizing unnecessary renders and ensuring that each component only updates when its relevant state changes. Memoization techniques such as React.memo and useMemo help optimize rendering of static parts of the calendar grid. For instance, the layout of days in a given month rarely changes, so recalculating them only when the displayed month changes saves processing time and battery on mobile devices. When dealing with very large possible date ranges, virtualization, rendering only visible months, prevents lag and keeps navigation snappy. Performance also extends to the selector's responsiveness, ensuring that keyboard and mouse actions respond instantly, and that feedback, like range highlighting, updates without delay. By prioritizing efficiency, the selector feels effortless and reliable, encouraging users to explore data without hesitation or annoyance. Customizability is the hallmark of a production-ready date range selector, distinguishing it from off-the-shelf solutions. Like a tailor fitting a suit to your exact measurements, a custom selector can adapt to the unique requirements of your e-commerce business. Presets offer a prime example. While common options like today or last 7 days are helpful, businesses often need domain-specific choices, such as custom fiscal quarters, seasonal campaigns, or promotional periods. The architecture allows these presets to be injected as props, enabling rapid adaptation without rewriting core logic. Theming capabilities, exposed via CSS variables or prop-driven style overrides, ensure seamless integration with brand aesthetics from colors to typography. Internationalization is another layer of customization. By supporting locale props and leveraging date-fns locale features, the selector can present calendars and date formats in the user's language. This flexibility extends to validation logic, boundary conditions, and even the shape of the UI, making the selector an enduring asset that grows and evolves alongside the platform it serves. Robustness in a date range selector is achieved through comprehensive testing and a commitment to quality. Consider the selector as a safety-critical component in a car's dashboard. Any failure could lead to confusion, data errors, or even lost revenue. Automated unit and integration tests validate core behaviors, such as correct range selection, enforcement of minimum and maximum dates, and handling of invalid input. Simulated user interactions, like clicking calendar days or using keyboard navigation, help catch edge cases and regressions before they reach production. Accessibility testing, using tools like Gestax, ensures that every update maintains compliance and usability for all users. Linting and code formatting enforce consistency, while continuous integration pipelines catch issues early in the development process. By embedding these practices into the workflow, the selector maintains its reliability and adaptability, even as requirements and code bases change. This disciplined approach transforms the selector from a feature into a dependable foundation for data filtering across the e-commerce platform. Comparing custom-built date range selectors to external library solutions highlights the trade-offs between control and convenience. Using a pre-built library is like renting a furnished apartment. It's quick, comes with basic amenities, but you're limited in how much you can personalize the space. Libraries like React Date Picker or Material UI Pickers deliver rapid integration, but often come with large bundle sizes, fixed designs, and limited adaptability to unique business needs. In contrast, building your selector from scratch with React and date-fns is akin to designing and building your own home. You decide how every room looks, how they connect, and what materials to use. This approach provides maximum flexibility and minimal bloat, ensuring optimal performance and full alignment with accessibility standards. The trade-off is the investment of time and expertise needed to get every detail right, from keyboard navigation to edge case handling. For teams prioritizing brand differentiation, maintainability, and long-term value, the custom approach offers a clear and compelling advantage. A date range selector's reliability depends significantly on how it handles common pitfalls, many of which stem from the intricacies of date handling in JavaScript. Dates, much like currencies or measurements, can be surprisingly nuanced. Small mistakes can lead to significant misunderstandings or data errors. Mutating date objects, for instance, can cause subtle bugs if the same instance is referenced in multiple places. Using date-fns immutable functions sidesteps this issue, always returning new, independent objects. Off-by-one errors are another danger, especially when defining whether a range is inclusive or exclusive of its endpoints. Consistent use of is within interval ensures predictable results. Handling invalid dates, such as user-typed input that doesn't conform to expectations, requires vigilance, validating with is valid, and providing clear UI feedback when input is rejected. Time zone mismatches, a notorious source of confusion, are best addressed by normalizing dates to a defined standard, such as UTC midnight, before storage or API submission. Finally, clear state management, favoring controlled components over a mix of controlled and uncontrolled, prevents leaky abstractions and unpredictable behavior. By proactively addressing these pitfalls, the selector remains stable, predictable, and trustworthy in all scenarios. Future-proofing a date range selector ensures it remains valuable as technology and business needs evolve. The trend toward composable UI architectures means that modular components, like the selector, must integrate seamlessly into design systems or micro front-ends. Adopting TypeScript can add type safety, catching errors at compile time and easing onboarding for new team members. As mobile usage grows, touch-friendly interfaces, such as larger tap targets and gesture support, become essential for accessibility and user satisfaction. Internationalization, enabled through locale-aware formatting and right-to-left layout support, widens the selector's applicability across global markets. Looking ahead, AI-assisted UX may suggest relevant date ranges based on user behavior or business context, further streamlining workflows and enhancing the decision-making process. By embracing modular design, strict typing, responsive UI, and smart suggestions, the selector will continue to deliver value, adapt to new challenges, and delight users well into the future. The main application file demonstrates how to integrate the production-ready Date Range Selector component for e-commerce filtering. It displays the selector with minimum and maximum date constraints and shows the selected date range below. This file contains the core Date Range Selector component. It orchestrates state management, calendar navigation, preset range selection, and renders all supporting UI elements. It leverages date-fns for date calculations and keeps the component accessible and production-ready. The calendar grid component renders the calendar UI for a given month. It highlights the selected date range, start and end dates, and handles mouse and keyboard interactions for accessibility. This file implements the date input component, which uses native date input elements for direct editing of start and end dates. It validates input using date-fns and updates parent state on changes. This file provides the presets component, which renders buttons for quick preset range selections such as today, last 7 days, and this month. This CSS file styles the Date Range Selector, including its calendar, inputs, and preset buttons, delivering both usability and a clean, accessible UI. The index.js file bootstraps the React app and applies the Date Range Selector styling. This HTML file provides the single root element for the React application. This configuration file declares all required dependencies for the production-ready Date Range Selector, including React, date-fns, and development tooling. The page loads, displaying the application header and introductory section at the top. The user interface presents an order filtering panel with a date range selector featured prominently. After a brief pause to allow review of the introduction, the view scrolls smoothly to the filter panel containing the date range selector. The user focuses on the preset buttons offered by the selector. First, the last 7 days preset is chosen. Instantly, the date range updates to reflect this choice, and the filtered orders list below adjusts to display only orders within the past week. After a pause to observe the changes, the user clicks the This Month preset, updating the date range to cover the current month. The orders list refreshes to show only orders within this period. Next, the Yesterday preset is selected, narrowing the date range to a single day, and the orders adjust accordingly to display only those from the previous day. The user then interacts with the manual date inputs. Scrolling ensures the filter panel remains in focus. The start date input is cleared and replaced with 2024-0301. The end date input is similarly cleared and set to 2024-0315. The date range and filtered orders update in real time, now reflecting only orders between March 1st and March 15th, 2024. Turning to the calendar grid, the user navigates to the previous month using the calendar navigation controls. A day in the previous month is clicked to set it as the start date. The user hovers over another day to preview the potential range visually, then clicks to set the end date. The date selector visually highlights the chosen range, and the orders panel refreshes to show the corresponding data. Demonstrating keyboard accessibility, the user focuses on a calendar day, moves to the next day using the right arrow key, and selects it by pressing Enter. The user then moves down a row with the down arrow and confirms selection with Enter, illustrating that date selection and navigation are fully accessible via keyboard controls. Finally, the user scrolls to the orders table to review how the filtered orders reflect the chosen date range. Scrolling continues to the bottom of the page to reveal the footer. The demonstration ends after a short pause, having showcased the flexibility and responsiveness of the Date Range Selector in various real-world usage scenarios. You've just seen how to build a fully production-ready, accessible, and customizable Date Range Selector in React, without relying on bulky external UI libraries. By combining the power of date-fns with well-architected components, you gain total control over both look and logic, making your e-commerce filters faster, lighter, and far easier to maintain. Imagine how much smoother your workflow will be and how quickly new features or business requirements can be addressed with this foundation in place. Take what you've learned and apply it to your analytics dashboards, order filtering, or campaign scheduling. You'll save time, improve user experience, and reduce bugs with a solution you truly understand end to end. To keep supercharging your skills and unlock more real-world patterns you can immediately use in your projects, make sure you subscribe. You'll stay ahead of the curve with hands-on guides that make complex topics simple and practical.